Niccolo Machiavelli understood that real power moves in silence, moves without being seen, controls without being noticed. Are you ready to see the power you possess? How would you see the world after this video? My only advice is pay close attention and do what you will with this information. There are 3 most powerful levels of power that'll determine if you die forgotten or unforgettable. Most people never escape level 1 because they mistake noise for strength, thinking the guy screaming orders is actually in charge. Here's what's going to mess with your head. The people who seem most powerful are often just well-dressed slaves. The real architects of control? You've never heard their names. They don't need titles, don't crave applause, and definitely don't need your approval. They understand something that'll change how you see everything around you. Level 1. The unconscious slave. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through feeds someone else curated, get angry about topics someone else chose, buy products someone else marketed, and go to sleep thinking you made your own decisions. Congratulations, you're operating at level 1 and you're exactly where they want you. The unconscious slave doesn't feel oppressed because the chains are invisible. They're made of habits, social expectations, and the desperate need to fit in. Watch how people panic when their phone dies. Watch how they repeat opinions they heard on TV like their original thoughts. Watch how they chase promotions and systems designed to keep them dependent. These aren't weak people. Many are intelligent, hardworking, even successful by conventional standards. But they're reactors, not creators. They respond to stimuli like lab rats. Someone presses a button, they jump. Someone promises security, they comply. Someone threatens their comfort, they submit. The scary part? They defend this lifestyle. They'll argue that questioning authority is dangerous, that rocking the boat is selfish, that accepting your place is mature. They've weaponized their own oppression and turned it into virtue. They call ambition toxic because it reminds them of what they sacrificed for safety. Here's the brutal reality. Most people prefer being controlled because making your own decisions is terrifying. It means taking responsibility for outcomes. It means risking failure, rejection, isolation. So they choose the comfort of following orders, the security of being told what to think, the relief of letting someone else make the hard choices. They work jobs they hate to buy stuff they don't need to impress people who don't matter. They vote for politicians who despise them, support systems that exploit them, and raise children to repeat the same patterns. And when you point this out, they get angry at you, not at their controllers. This is why revolutions are rare. It's not because overthrowing power is impossible, it's because most people are psychologically addicted to being controlled. Freedom terrifies them more than slavery. Drop a comment below what's one area of your life where you realize you were just following someone else's script. Don't lie to yourself about this. Level 2. The Enforcer. The Enforcer has tasted power and mistaken it for freedom. These are your middle managers, police officers, military personnel, team leaders, people who get to boss others around but still take orders from above. They're the muscle of the system, strong enough to control level 1s but too dependent to break free themselves. Here's what makes enforcers dangerous. They believe they're at the top. They wear the uniform, carry the authority, make the arrests, fire the employees. They feel important because people fear them, respect them, follow their commands. But strip away the badge, the title, the position, and what's left? Just another person taking orders. The enforcer is seductive because it offers the illusion of dominance without the burden of real responsibility. You get to feel powerful without having to create your own vision. You get structure, clear rules, defined enemies. Someone else handles the big decisions while you focus on execution. But watch what happens when enforcers question the system they serve. Suddenly they're labeled as troublemakers, loose cannons, security risks. The same hands that applauded their loyalty now point in accusation. Why? Because questioning the system means you're no longer controllable, and uncontrollable enforcers become threats to those above. Most enforcers sense this trap but suppress the awareness. They know they're serving interests that don't align with their own, but they've got mortgages, families, reputations to protect. So they silence their doubts, follow orders that contradict their values, and gradually become hollow shells of who they once were. The saddest enforcers are the ones who started with genuine intentions to make a difference. They joined the force to serve justice, entered politics to help people, took management positions to create positive change. But systems don't change people, people get changed by systems. And the system's primary goal isn't justice or progress. It's maintaining control. Level 3, the Shadow Architect. Now we reach the level that most people can't even comprehend: the Shadow Architect. These are the individuals who design the game while others play it. They don't need titles, don't crave recognition, don't care about your opinion. They understand that real power comes from shaping perception, controlling information, and influencing the influences. The Shadow Architect studies human psychology like a science. They know that people can be predicted, manipulated, directed through carefully applied pressure points. They understand that humans make decisions emotionally and justify them rationally. They know that fear and desire drive 99% of human behavior. While level 1s argue about surface issues and level 2s enforce the rules, level 3s are busy rewriting the rules. They fund the research that shapes public opinion, back the politicians who serve their interests, create the economic conditions that drive behavior. They operate through networks, proxies, and intermediaries. Here's what'll blow your mind. Many shadow architects started exactly where you are now. They weren't born into power, didn't inherit wealth or connections. They simply recognized the game being played and decided to learn the rules instead of being ruled by them. They studied influence instead of seeking approval, built networks instead of burning bridges, created value instead of consuming it. The shadow architect doesn't fight the system, they become the system. They don't rebel against power structures, they architect new ones. They understand that lasting change comes from building, not breaking. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But here's the price: the shadow architect often becomes isolated. They see through social conventions, political theater, media manipulation. They recognize the patterns that others miss, which makes normal relationships nearly impossible. They know too much to be truly innocent again. And yet, this is where real freedom lives. Not in rebelling against control, but in understanding it so completely that you can transcend it. Not in fighting the system, but in becoming someone the system cannot touch. Most people will watch this and do nothing. They'll nod along, maybe share it, then go back to their routines. They'll choose the comfortable cage over the terrifying freedom of thinking for themselves. But if you're different, if something inside you refuses to accept being controlled, then you're already on your way to the next level. The question isn't whether you can reach level 3, it's whether you have the courage to leave level 1. Because once you see the game clearly, you can never unsee it. And that awareness, that burden of clarity, is the first step toward real power. Subscribe if you're ready to see what most people are too afraid to look at. There are more levels to this game than you realize, and the people at the top? They're counting on you staying exactly where you are.